Well, welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining me from Festa Italia, the Italian Workmen's Club, we've got David Rizzo here, familiar face, and so glad to have you back on the show, David, because it can only mean one thing, and that means Festa is back. David, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Jeremy. Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Tell us the good news.
Yeah, the good news is our council voted unanimously just a week or so ago to move forward with Festa Italia. It'll be the first Festa since 2019. So we've skipped two Festas, and it's almost literally 3 years ago since we were able to grace McKee Farms Park with Festa, but we're going to be back. We're going to have some, well, we always have, we'll get into this, but we always have great food and great entertainment, but it's just going to feel good to be back, bringing Festa back to the community. I sense it just in a little bit that I get around town that people are really anxious to kind of get out and celebrate. I mean, obviously we had the 70-degree weather this past weekend. Now this is Wisconsin, so that only lasted about 24 hours. And we're back to, 50s or whatever, but, that's spring in Wisconsin. But we're hopeful that by the time the first weekend in June rolls around, it'll be nice, warm, sunny weather for celebrating.
We were kind of talking about this the other day, and I said to you that I think it because of being an outdoor event, because there's so much space at the park, you really can be kind of distant, still hear the music, still enjoy the food, the fun, the beverages. And I think that's what it makes it almost special to be coming back. And it's going to be a big party. I think you're right that people are ready to get back together. And I always think of this as the startup of the summer in Fitchburg, that you guys always have the event there, and it is awesome. So let's get into the details, David. For people who aren't familiar with the Italian Workmen's Club and what you guys do, why are we having this festival, and who are you?
Well, the Italian Workmen's Club is a fraternal organization. We're located down in the old brownstone, as we call it, on 914 Regent Street. That's kind of right between Sweet Home, Wisconsin and Regent Liquor, just off the corner of Park and Regent. And we've been there. The building itself actually we're celebrating its 100th anniversary. So the Wow. building itself is 100 years old. The club was founded in 1912. So the club is 110 years old this year. So we got a couple of good reasons to celebrate. And what we call Festa Italia really started as a neighborhood picnic, probably back in the 30s and 40s. And since the club was originally founded as a mutual aid society for Italian immigrants that came over at the turn of the century, it had everything to do with helping each other out. If a family member was ill and couldn't work, then the other people would chip in and bring meals or what have you, whatever the reason was. So it was a very close-knit community. Now we are all familiar with the urban renewal that took place in the 60s. But once things settled down, we started doing what back in the 70s was the Regent Street Block Party. Now I can't imagine doing it now, but back then you were allowed to block off Regent Street at least for a day or so and have sort of a block party. That's not practical, but we've been all around to various parks over the decades. We've been up at Warner Park, we've been over at the Coliseum, we've been at Olin Park, Wingra Park, but we've kind of found a home at McKee Farms Park in Fitchburg. And the way that Dane County has grown, Fitchburg is a bit more centralized than it certainly was 10, 20 years ago. So it's just a really nice, comfortable place. People are used to finding Festa there. We've been there probably the last 15 years. So, we're just happy to, again, welcome people from all over the Dane County area. And we actually get some people traveling through on business or vacations, and they kind of see our signs or hear our ads, and they'll stop by and enjoy some good food.
Yeah, let's talk about what happens at Festa Italia. So, my personal favorite is the food, but I'm a big guy here, so I love anything food related. But food, entertainment, and culture that truly makes up. So, tell us about the food. Let's get that one out of the way because that's just yummy all around.
Sure. Well, we're going to have your, we're always going to have your basics as far as pizza and meatball sandwiches, hot beef sandwiches, wonderful Italian desserts. The Italian American Women's Club, our sister organization, as well as an outfit called Chow. Um, um, they make cannoli and homemade Italian cookies, so you can get everything from entrees right through to desserts. And we'll also have our famous spaghetti and meatball dinner that'll be served. In addition to all of that, we're going to have a fry area where you're going to get fried Italian specialties from arancini to sfingi to what am I? I'm thinking of squid. Yeah, calamari, uh, and then obviously you're going to have something to drink to go along with the food. So we're going to have beverages, alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages. So we'll have beer, wine, soda, etc. Yeah, let's see what else as far as food. We also have some great vendors that'll be coming back. Java Cat with their gelato is always fun, and we have Sugar River kettle corn as well. That's always popular. And I think we're gonna try nachos this year. I know there's nothing particularly Italian about nachos, but it's kind of a universal thing. Obviously, it's kind of a Mexican origin, but who doesn't like some chips with some cheese sauce and jalapenos on it? So a little bit of a different twist this year on the appetizers.
That's okay. That goes really good with sausage and everything else. So I'm gonna buy into it and say you could put your own garnish on the nachos and turn it Italian just a slight bit. So I'll give that I'll give that a go. I think a lot of people know about the music, and you folks have such a great lineup each and every year. And looking at the list here, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, we try to mix some basic traditional Italian music, especially during the day. And if we do go a little bit off of that, it's usually on the lighter jazz variety. So we start with again, traditional and lighter things. And then as the sun begins to set, we kind of tune it up a little bit and amp it up a little bit. And we'll get some more rock and jazz and funk and blues and soul. So we're really not catering specifically to only one audience. We're trying to bring in people from all different generations and all different musical tastes. And I think over the years, people have come to understand that that's kind of what we're doing. It's kind of Italian culture during the day, and it's kind of rock and roll at night. And we found that to be a really good combination.
Yeah, it works really well, and I've certainly spent a lot of time out there enjoying the great music all day long. It's awesome. And finally, the culture. You do have culture stuff on display, different events along those lines. Tell us about some of those.
Yeah, the culture really is again a main focus, especially during the day. We've got a specific tent, large tent, that we have historical photos. We've got continually looping DVDs that are playing with people who grew up in the old Greenbush neighborhood, telling the stories that fortunately we've been able to capture for posterity, so that those stories will continue on. So people can learn what the Greenbush neighborhood was all about, sort of a melting pot that it was. But we also have a parade of Italy, a parade of Italian flags that happens on Saturday afternoon. And that's really an explanation of the 20, I think it's 20, it's either 20 or 21 areas of Italy, each with its own description. And so that goes a long way in explaining what the country of Italy is all about. And we also have cooking demonstrations that take place in our culture tent. So local area chefs will come and prepare their favorite Italian delicacies. And we also do a Sunday Mass for those who would like to attend that on Sunday at 10 o'clock.
All right. Well, if folks want to come out for this, David, if you can remind them one more time where they can find the latest and greatest information about this event and stay on the know, how can they do that?
Yeah, well, for sure. It's June 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So that's the weekend after Memorial Day. And for further detail, it's at McKee Farms Park in Fitchburg, 2930 Chapel Valley Road. And for more information, you can go to iwcmadison.com and just click on the Festa Italian tab, and you'll get all the information that you'd like.
All right, David, thank you so much for your time. So glad to have it back. So glad for your time today. And we'll look forward to seeing you here in a couple of weeks.
Absolutely. Great to be back with you.
All right, check it out, Festa Italia, and get it on the calendar, June 3rd through the 5th at McKee Farms Park here in Fitchburg. We'll take a quick break. More to come. You're watching Talking Fitchburg.